She said she needed time alone. 3 days in the mountains, no signal, no messages, just clearing her head. But when she came back, her boots were spotless, and in her backpack, a hotel receipt. That's when everything started to unravel. You ever had that gut feeling something's off, but you just can't prove it? That was me last month, standing in my kitchen, staring at my girlfriend's backpack that she'd thrown on the floor like nothing happened. She had just come back from a solo camping trip. 3 full days. No signal. No messages. No social media. She said she needed to clear her head. I trusted her. Or at least I thought I did. Her name's Riley. We've been together for 2 years. Lived together for almost 1. She's outdoorsy, always talking about how nature helps her recenter. So when she told me she wanted to do a solo hike in the Appalachians, I didn't question it. She even showed me the trail she planned to take. It sounded legit. Long, remote, no service zones. I just told her to be safe and text me whenever she got a signal. Day 1. Nothing. Okay, she warned me. Day 2. Silence. I started to worry. Day 3. Still nothing. No check-ins, no posts. Her location was turned off. Not that I expected GPS deep in the woods, but still. Something just felt wrong. I didn't sleep that night. I kept checking her Instagram, her texts, our shared Google Calendar. Nothing. I even called one of her friends, Tanya, to see if she'd heard from her. She hadn't. And then just like that, she walked in. Hair messy, face a little sunburnt, clothes dirty like she'd actually been out there. She smiled at me like everything was fine. Hey babe. Sorry. No signal. I missed you. I hugged her, out of relief more than anything. But even as I held her, something felt off. Her voice was too upbeat. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. And then I noticed something small, something stupid. The soles of her hiking boots were spotless, like not just clean, scrubbed clean, no mud, no scuffs, not even a twig stuck in the laces. That's when the seed of doubt planted itself in my head. I tried to brush it off. I really did. Told myself maybe she changed boots before coming home. Maybe she wiped them down. Maybe I was just being paranoid. But once that first crack in the story appeared, I couldn't unsee it. Everything started to unravel. The first night back, she was unusually clingy. Riley's never been the overly affectionate type. She's warm, sure, but she likes her space. That night, she curled up next to me like a puppy, didn't let go for hours. She wouldn't stop talking either. About how beautiful the trail was. How freeing it felt to be away from civilization. How she journaled her thoughts and saw a bear from a distance. The kind of stuff she usually wouldn't even bother to describe in detail. But the stories were off. Too perfect. Too scripted. Then there was the food. I was making dinner, pasta, her favorite, and asked if she ate well during the trip. She paused, like she was buffering, then said, "Yeah, I had those trail packs. You know, those freeze-dried meals you boil water for?" I nodded. "Which ones?" I asked, casually. She blinked. The chicken pasta and some beef stew." I know what she packed. I helped her. She didn't bring chicken pasta or beef stew. She packed oatmeal, tuna packets, and a giant bag of trail mix. That's it. I didn't say anything right away, just noted it in my head. Another crack. The next day, she went to work like nothing happened. I worked from home, which gave me the chance to snoop. I know, invasion of privacy and all that. But at this point, I felt like something was seriously wrong, and I needed answers. So I checked her backpack. At first, everything looked normal. Dirty clothes, an empty water bladder, some granola bar wrappers. But then, in the side pocket, I found it. A folded receipt. A hotel receipt. 3 nights at a Marigold Suites. Paid in cash. Room 412. No name on the receipt, just the date and time. The exact 3 days she was supposed to be off-grid. My heart dropped. I sat on the couch, just holding that little piece of paper, reading it over and over again, hoping it would disappear, but it didn't. It was real. Cold, hard proof that Riley had lied. Now the question was, why? Was she cheating? Running from something? Meeting someone? The possibilities were endless, and all equally sickening. That night I didn't confront her. I couldn't. I needed to know more. I needed a plan. I took a picture of the receipt, tucked it back exactly where I found it, and started digging. If she lied about the trip, what else was she hiding? I spent the next 3 days doing what I never imagined I'd do in a relationship, investigating my own girlfriend. Every little thing she did became a clue. I started watching her like a hawk, her routine, her texts, how often she picked up her phone, how quickly she responded when I entered the room. I wasn't looking for cheating. Not yet. I was looking for inconsistency, lies, anything that didn't add up. And boy, did it start piling up fast. For one, her hiking gear was barely used. Her sleeping bag was still tightly rolled, not compressed like someone had slept in it for nights. Her camp stove had no burn marks. Even the bug spray she'd supposedly used was full to the brim. It was like she'd staged a camping trip, but never actually went. Then there were the receipts. Turns out she had a few others scattered in her coat pockets and wallet, all from convenience stores and gas stations, but not anywhere near the Appalachian Trail. In fact, they were clustered around a town about 2 hours in the opposite direction, a small place called Meadowbrook. I looked it up. There's a Marigold Suites there. Same name as on the hotel receipt. A mid-tier hotel. Nothing fancy. No spa, no conference center. Just beds. So who the hell was she meeting there? I even considered calling the hotel, pretending to be her husband or something. But I stopped myself. I wasn't ready for the answer yet. Instead, I went low-tech. That night, while she was asleep, I took her phone. She never changed her passcode. Dumb move. I went straight to her photos. Most of them were old. Selfies, food pics, dog videos. But then I found a locked folder. A hidden album called Journal. She never mentioned keeping a digital journal. I opened it. And that's when I saw them. Photos, videos, text entries. None of them from a forest. There were clips of her in a hotel room, alone, talking to the camera. She looked conflicted. In one video, she's crying. In another, she's pacing and saying things like, "I just need to figure out what I want," and "he doesn't deserve this." I recognized the curtains, the cheap art on the wall. It was room 412. My heart was pounding. But then, I saw the last video. Dated just one night before she came back. She's in bed, hair pulled back, makeup off. And a man walks into frame. Bare chest, toothbrush in hand. And she kisses him. Full on the lips. Then the video cuts. I stared at the screen for what felt like forever. Number betrayed. Disgusted. She hadn't just lied to me. She'd planned this. She checked into that hotel with someone else, documented it, hid it behind a password, and came home pretending to be someone I could still trust. I felt sick, but I didn't wake her up. Not yet. I needed to know everything before I burned it all down. The next morning felt like waking up next to a stranger. She smiled at me, kissed me on the cheek like nothing had changed, like she hadn't shattered our entire relationship with one secret folder. I looked at her and realized I didn't even know who Riley really was anymore. But I still didn't say anything. Not yet. Instead, I told her I had errands to run and left the house. I drove straight to Meadowbrook. I needed to see it with my own eyes. The town, the hotel, the room. When I pulled up to Marigold Suites, it looked exactly like the photos. Cheap beige building, gravel parking lot, flickering neon sign. I parked across the street and just watched. For an hour. 2. Then, I got bold. I walked in. The front desk clerk looked half asleep, sipping a big gulp and watching Judge Judy. I asked him casually if room 412 had been rented last week. He squinted at me, clearly suspicious, so I changed tactics. "Ted," I said, making up a name. "I think I left my laptop charger in 412. I was staying with my sister last week. Riley." His eyes lit up. "Oh yeah. You guys were the couple with the broken TV, right? I remember her." Bingo. He even offered to let me check Lost and Found. While he turned around, I took a quick glance at the registry. There it was, room 412. Booked under a name I didn't recognize. Daniel Frost. Now I had a name. On the way home, I couldn't stop repeating it in my head. Daniel Frost. Daniel Frost. Daniel Frost. I searched him online the second I got home. Socials were locked down tight. No public information. But one tagged photo popped up on Instagram. From Riley's friend Tanya's account. A group picture. A backyard barbecue. Riley in the center, smiling. And right beside her, arm around her waist, Daniel. He wasn't a stranger. He was someone from our life. I zoomed in. His hand on her lower back. Intimate. Familiar. That night, I couldn't fake it anymore. I sat her down. Showed her the receipt. The photos. The video. She didn't cry. Didn't deny. Just sighed. Like a balloon deflating. "I'm sorry," she said. "I didn't mean for it to happen like this." I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just asked, "How long?" She looked down. 5 months. I laughed. It came out bitter. Ugly. 5 months. Of pretending. Of kisses. Of lies. She said she needed space. Time to figure things out. I gave her 3 days. She used them to sleep with someone I knew. Someone who smiled in my face. His silence after her confession was louder than any screaming match could have been. I sat there, staring at the floor, while she picked at her sleeve, like a kid waiting for punishment. But I wasn't angry. Not in the way people expect. I was hollow, emptied out, like someone had reached inside and scooped out everything I had left to feel. 5 months. She lived with me, slept next to me, made me breakfast. Let me talk about our future, our plans. All while sneaking off to hotels with a man who knew my name, who probably toasted beers with me once or twice. I asked her, "Why didn't you just leave?" She said, "Because I still loved you, in a way." In a way. That stung worse than anything. Love isn't a partial thing. You don't half love someone while making out with someone else in a hotel room. But she couldn't even see it. She genuinely thought she had feelings for both of us. I packed a bag that night. She cried when she saw it. Said she didn't want me to go. Said she was going to end things with Daniel. Said she just needed clarity, time, space. I said, "You had all the space in the world. You chose him." And I left. Moved into a friend's apartment for a few weeks. Told work I needed time off. I didn't tell anyone the full story at first. It was too raw, too humiliating. I felt like an idiot. Not just for trusting her, but for ignoring every red flag that now screamed in my face. The weird solo trips. The work calls late at night. The sudden need for boundaries. She was writing her exit script all along, and I was the fool clapping for the performance. It's been 2 months now. She's texted a few times. Long, emotional paragraphs that I haven't answered. I don't need closure from her. I have the truth. Daniel? He blocked me the second I messaged him. Coward. But the funny part? I'm actually okay. Because now I know. I'm not guessing. I'm not waiting by the phone. I'm not watching her lie to my face and pretending it's love. It's over. And for the first time in a long time, I feel free. I think the hardest part about betrayal isn't the act itself. It's how it rewires your trust. I don't walk around bitter. I don't hate Riley. I'm not obsessing over her every move. But something in me shifted. Like a switch flipped. I see things differently now. I listen for silences that shouldn't be there. I notice when someone dodges a question, when their eyes flick just a second too long. And it sucks. Because I miss the version of me that just believed people at face value. But at the same time, I'm grateful. Because now, I know what I will never accept again. Lies dressed as love. Secrets hiding behind "I need space." People who say they're confused, while doing things that only bring clarity. Painful clarity. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I probably missed signs. Maybe I didn't see her slipping away because I was too caught up in my own routine. But I know I didn't deserve what she did. Nobody does. And if you've ever been through something like this, maybe you get it. That moment when you realize the person you loved was just playing a role. and you were the only one who thought it was real. So I'm done waiting for closure. Sometimes closure is a lie you tell yourself so you don't have to let go. Well, I let go. Now I'm focusing on me. I'm not rushing into anything. I don't want revenge. I don't want drama. I just want peace. And honestly, I think I'm on my way there. But I'll leave you with this. What would you have done in my place? Would you have confronted her sooner? Forgiven her? Stayed quiet? I really want to know. Because I still think about the moment I found that receipt, and wonder how different things might have been if I hadn't looked.